Hello. So, I want to speak a little bit about human beings and other human beings. And just to clarify, other people are just as real or as unreal as the human being in this dream, as the human looking from inside the body to the outside. So, there is two main things here to understand, right? The first one is your true form, which makes up everything, which is the awareness, source, spirit, God, Tao, I am. Whatever word resonates with you is the right word. That's not important. The word is not important. What the word points to as the only power, as the one, as the oneness, is the important, or is the key point here, that it points to the oneness of all. It points to the everything and anything, and it contains everything, as well as human beings, as well as the human being that is currently listening to this YouTube, the one looking from inside the body to outside the body. And just to clarify, this human being, the one inside the body looking outside the body, as well as the others, they're not separate from awareness. They're not separate from what you truly are, the true form. They're just a form, a shape that awareness is taking. They're not separate forces. There isn't awareness fighting against the ego and there's opposing forces. No. It is all this singular one substance, this singular one force, this singular one source. All right? So when speaking about there's no others, or there's humans aren't real, you're the only power, it's never pointing to the human being. It's never pointing to the human mind, to the human body, to the one identifying with this. It's never speaking to the character or to this form, right? And to make this really, really clear, people have tried to distinguish between 3D and 4D. However, that in itself is also a mistake. And hey, we've been guilty of this. But it is a mistake because there's no separation, because there's this one singular one thing. This, in the image you can see, it's all this purple light and blue light. This is what you truly are. And what form this purple light and this blue light takes us it's indifferent. It doesn't matter. It is just a form. It's an appearance that it is taking. It's a character, it's a costume, it's a form, but it's not separate from the source. It is just a form of the source. It's just a form of awareness. It's an appearance of awareness, is a shape, so to say, right? And when awareness identifies with one of these forms, it creates this illusion of separation. But again, it is an illusion. So when speaking that others don't exist or you're the only power, it's never saying that other people don't exist. It's just referring to they don't exist, or they exist. They are just as real as unreal as the human being. So they are just as real and as unreal, or they exist or don't exist, just like everything in this reality is an illusion. Just like when we refer to it as the 3D being an illusion, it encompasses everything of this so-called 3D. Again, there's no separation, but sometimes for some of you, referring it to as the 3D, it's clear because it almost separates the 3D as the reality and the 4D, the dreamer that is dreaming the reality. But there's no 3D and no 4D because it's all made of the same one singular force. And there isn't a fight between 3D and 4D. But if this helps understand this concept, and again, there's nothing for you to understand because you already in your true form know. But if your character grasps these concepts a little bit easier, let it be. It's all good. You make the rules. You are the only power. You are the truth. You are the way. So whatever resonates is the right way. The only truth is that you are everything in your true form as awareness, as source, as substance. So again, back to the topic of others. So these other people are just as real and just as human beings as the human being listening to this on YouTube, as this form, as this physical form of awareness, the form that awareness has now chosen to identify with or to become aware of and see and be aware of things through it. But again, there is no opposition, there's no opposing forces. They are just appearances and forms that awareness is taking. That's the truth. From the identification with a human being, then this identification creates this illusion and this appearance that these other human beings are separate and are others. But in your true form, when you rest in awareness, and again, this is not something that your human being needs to do, it's just the what is and what always has been. When awareness recognizes itself, when awareness takes off the mask and just is aware of being awareness, in that space, then the illusion of separation dissolves and what has always been is revealed. What has been revealed? Essentially that everything is contained within awareness, which again is you. Everything is contained within you. This reality and any possible reality is contained within you. There's no 3D and no 4D because there's only one singular substance, one singular source, awareness, which is you. And within that space of awareness, in that resting in your true identity as awareness, in your true form as awareness, all of your desires are already included in it. Everything that you have ever desired or dreamt of is included in it, is appearing, it is allowed, it's contained. And as awareness moves, then these realities become revealed. And the natural flow of allowing of awareness then flows naturally. All right? So all these seemingly other people, when identifying with a human being that seemingly appear as separate from you, they have never been separate from your true form as awareness. They are in fact appearances of your form, appearances appearing within you. And hence why it is very possible to completely change characters, mold them, shift them, choose completely different versions of them, because within you as awareness, as God, we know what God means, everything is contained, everything is possible, and nothing is ever impossible. So if in the resting of source, in the resting of awareness, you want to completely change, have an experience where the character that you've chosen has a completely different physical appearance, has a different hair color, eye color, the different personalities. That's why you're never linked or you're never limited by a character, because in your true form, you are the source, you are God, you are I am, and can pick and choose any character you want from the freedom of knowing that you were never a character, a limited character in the first place, all right? Just like you could pick any other character that is appearing within your field, within awareness, because you are all of the characters, as well as choosing and molding and experiencing whatever experience you want to experience from all of the different characters that are available and appearing within your awareness. This is not something that needs to be done from a human mind, from a human character. This is something that is done from awareness, which is in itself already complete and fulfilled. And when you recognize yourself as awareness, the truth is that you already recognize that everything is contained within you. So the need or want unfolds naturally. It's a flowing and playful desire and unfolding of desires that are already within you. It's not something that is done from a space of lack, of which could only come from an identification with a human character, with a human being. It comes from the space of completeness, wholeness, and fulfillment. Again, this is never pointing to the human being, because these phrases separately might have been heard before and might have been distorted into thinking that, human beings need to be completely fulfilled and happy within themselves and in their solitude to then experience the life of their dreams. That's not what we're pointing at all. There is no such thing as a healed human being, or necessary to, of course there is, but it's not necessary to experience all of this, because in your true form, you are the awareness in which all of these human beings are appearing in whatever version of themselves you decide to become aware of, and in whatever version of themselves you decide to mold and shift and become aware of. So in that space of awareness, transcending and beyond the human mind, which again, not separate from you, but it's just the costume, it's just the character, that awareness you decide to play here and there for the playfulness of experiencing limitations, for the playfulness of experiencing this dream as having forgotten and feeling like you're limited. In that playfulness, in that remembering of you as God, in the remembering of you as source, then everything naturally unfolds and allows, because everything that you want and you are then comes into heaven on earth. But again, you are the earth, you are containing earth, you are the space in which even the world and other characters are appearing in. All right? So just really wanted to clarify this, because this is not manifestation, so to say, which is in essence existence. It's what awareness, being aware of, is nothing fancy, nothing magical, but it's simply the natural unfolding of awareness, not stopping identifying with the characters, stop playing this role of a limited human being, and just remembering that it is just an appearance of the human being is just an appearance of awareness appearing inside of itself, as well as the world, as well as the television, as well as thoughts, as well as sensations, as well as everything and anything. Again, I'm trying to not ever refer back to emotions, because they are only seen as emotions from the limited perspective of the human being. They're simply sensations, the whole of reality, so to say, which is you, but like this physical reality is neutral. It is only from the lens of identification with a human being that gives meaning to the neutrality that appears within our so-called physical reality. Again, no distinction, because in a world where there's only one singular thing, there couldn't be any separation, because there's one singular power, there's one singular substance, there's one singular source, one singular energy, the formless, the faceless substance of all, which contains everything that is and everything that will ever be and everything that is now, because there's only now. Again, time is an illusion, and it's only experienced as linear from identification with a human being. In the knowing of who you are, which you always knew, it was just awareness playing a role, playing a human character. In that space, there's only now. It's the eternal now. This is not pointing to your human being having to be present. Again, you are the awareness that is aware of the human being being present. So that's also where the message might have been distorted or missed the nuance of the message, because it was never about the human being so present in the now that then there's only now and you have to be super present and attentive in this human being's costume. No, it is in the disidentification altogether with this costume, with this human role, with this human character, that everything then naturally unfolds and appears for you as in your true form of wholeness, of completion, of absolute perfection. That's why you've heard that the human being is, or the one looking from inside the body to the outside body, The reason why it's more nuanced and meditation coaches or teachers refer to it as a character is to point to the non-existing separation. Because if we were to just be like, there's awareness and there's the human being, you might mistakenly then identify that, oh, then I'm just a human being at the mercy of awareness, and hence it's no difference to a human being at the mercy of God. So, of course, that's not the case, because there's no separation. It is the awareness and the human being are the same. The human being is not a spark, it's not a little bit of a God. It is the whole of it. It is contained an appearance of the whole of awareness. It is just a form of awareness that creates an illusion of separation. But in your true form, in the form of you, in your real form of you, in your true form, there's no characters, there's no human beings, or there aren't just as much as anything else as you being the substance and the source of everything and anything. All right? So hope that clarified concepts for you, and let me know if you have questions, if you want to define some of these concepts further. It's really quite simple. There is either identification with human appearance, and or there is identification, which is not even identification, it's resting in your true form as awareness, seeing that everything is just appearances of you while you're experiencing yourself. Alrighty? Love you so much. Again, let me know if you have questions. Have a great day.